As soon as the NBA's free agency window opened, the Los Angeles Clippers took care of almost all their business. Needing both a point guard and a center, they swiftly addressed the latter of those. The Clippers agreed to a deal with Brook Lopez of the Milwaukee Bucks within the first few ticks of the clock, taking one of the best centerpieces off of the market and creating a two-headed defensive monster in the lane alongside Ivica Zubac. The Clippers came into play with a clear to-do list: an extra bit of offense, a savvy point guard, a backup center, and no one that needs too great of an incubation period. With these moves, at least two of those items can be considered checked off already. And be it through Chris Paul, Malcolm Brogdon, or another veteran point guard of note, it seems the remainder will not be too far away. Clippers financial management paying dividends. The Clippers will use most, but not all, of the non-taxpayer mid-level exception to sign Lopez to what is reported to be a 2-year, $18 million pact. The remainder, it is assumed, will be earmarked for the point guard they decide on. Unlike many of their peers, the Clippers entered the free agency period still with access to the full non-taxpayer amount of the mid-level exception because of how well their overall salary cap picture is managed. And that position has allowed to add quality veterans to what was already a top 3 NBA defense. In addition to the Lopez addition, the Clippers also took care of their own backyard. For the second consecutive season, James Harden declined a player option, only to re-sign to a 2-year deal with another player option attached, and in a continuing act of defiance at his own previous plans of retirement, Nick Batum also re-signed to a 2-year deal. He might retire before that second season for real, this time, but that is a bridge that will be crossed later. The Clippers' only remaining free agents are Amir Coffey, who does not move the needle either way, and Ben Simmons, who will depart. That, then, is pretty much all of the off-season business taken care of. And it is still only July 1st. Not the first Lightning Clippers offseason. This is not the first time that the Clippers have moved with serious speed on the free agency market. In the summer of 2022, for example, they extended Robert Covington and Ivica Zubac, signed John Wall, re-signed Batum again, re-signed Coffey once, and drove Isaiah Hartenstein to the airport, all taking place within 1 hour of the window opening. Lopez's name had been attached to the other Los Angeles team, the Lakers, in the days leading up to the free agency period. Instead, the Lakers are now keeping tabs on DeAndre Ayton, who was bought out earlier this week by the Portland Trail Blazers in a deal in which he gave back $10 million, while maintaining that their real plan is for the summer of 2027 instead. Given the fact that the Clippers handed out so many 2-year packs, though, the 2027 excuse does not fly. Brook simply chose the Clippers. The Clippers, not the Lakers, have become the Los Angeles destination of choice for some of the NBA's senior grandees. The Clippers gained not just a quality two-way center, but some important bragging rights. Proven quality. Aged 37, Lopez is inevitably starting to slow down a bit. Last season was his 17th in the NBA, an enormous amount for a man of his size, and he has played almost 1,200 games in his career, regular and postseasons combined. That said, Lopez still rarely misses a game. He has played 78, 79, and 80 games across the last 3 seasons respectively and posted averages of 13.0 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 1.8 assists per game last season along the way. Lopez has been the embodiment, and in no small way, a pioneer, of the modern shoot-the-three guard-the-lane center prototype, and is still very effective in both roles, hitting 37.3% from three-point range on the season to go along with 1.9 blocks per game. In their off-season plan, the Clippers knew they were not targeting players with upside. Instead, they knew they would seek unproblematic veteran players who got at least to the fringes of the all-star tier at their apexes, who can still contribute while being more accepting of diminishing roles, to provide them with valuable depth as they hope to keep open a competitiveness window for the next couple of seasons. Mission accomplished in the front court with Lopez. Now, close the deal for a Brogdon-shaped piece for the backcourt and start the holiday season early. The Golden State Warriors are considering how to best to improve the roster this summer, and a high-stakes trade agreement with the Los Angeles Lakers for LeBron James could be the best way to actually do it. Golden State just watched center Kevin Looney walk in free agency, joining the New Orleans Pelicans on a 2-year deal worth $16 million. Free agent center Kevin Looney has agreed to a 2-year, $16 million deal with the New Orleans Pelicans, sources tell ESPN. Charania posted to X. Life Sports Agency CEO Todd Ramasar and the Pelicans reached a deal tonight for the 3-time NBA champion who departs Golden State after 10 years. The Warriors hope to replace Looney with Al Horford, most recently of the Boston Celtics, per a report from Mark Stein and Jake Fisher of the Stein Line on Monday, June 30th. Al Horford is a top target for Golden State, league sources tell at Jake L. Fisher. And me, Stein posted to X. Horford, even at 39 years old, is an upgrade over Looney, particularly given what the Warriors need offensively and defensively. Horford is a far ringier defender and a much better floor spacer. He finished last season averaging 9.0 points, 6.2 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and 0.9 blocks per game, and shot 36.3% from behind the three-point arc on more than 5 attempts per night. If the Warriors can lock Horford up, which appears to be the consensus among insiders as of Monday night, the next consideration is how to keep Jonathan Kuminga as an asset until at least the February trade deadline and improve the roster around Stephen Curry and Draymond Green in the interim. A trade with the Lakers could theoretically accomplish both. Trading for LeBron James, Bronny James would allow Warriors to re-sign Jonathan Kuminga. Kevin Pelton of ESPN explained on Monday how a trade between Los Angeles and Golden State, which involves LeBron James and Bronny James as well as Jimmy Butler, could work after LeBron James decided to opt into his $52.6 million contract in 2025-26 rather than hit free agency. A sign-and-trade would be possible if James were to decline his option, but that possibility is complicated by the fact that a team receiving a player via sign-and-trade is automatically hard-capped at the lower luxury tax apron, limiting its moves to build out the roster. An opt-in and trade isn't subject to the same restrictions. For example, hypothetically, the Golden State Warriors could now trade Jimmy Butler III, starting a max extension, to the Lakers for LeBron James and Bronny James, and neither team would face a hard cap of any kind, allowing the Warriors to re-sign restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga. Jimmy Butler's salary matches almost perfectly with those of LeBron James, Bronny James. Bronny James wouldn't be a crucial piece to the deal, though his exceptional run in the G League with the South Bay Lakers during his rookie campaign in 2024-25 is indicative of a player who could eventually crack a rotation and become a significant contributor to an NBA team. But in this case, his inclusion would be about making the money work and potentially keeping LeBron James happy if he wanted a son with him for the swan song of his career. LeBron James' contract coupled with Bronny James' approximately $2 million in 2025 are close enough to Butler's $54.1 million to make the money line up. Butler could join Luka Doncic in Los Angeles, while James could join his friends Curry and Green in Northern California. Kuminga may have a bigger role in Butler's absence and decide he's happy in Golden State. If not, the Warriors could look to upgrade the roster further around the new Big Three, and potentially Horford as well, via trading Kuminga ahead of the deadline. The Boston Celtics could continue to lose some of their key players as free agency is underway. The Celtics have already lost the lives of Drew Holiday, Luke Conrad, Kristaps Porzingis, and now they could lose their veteran big man, Al Horford. Horford is an unrestricted free agent, and there is a chance that he could leave the Celtics for their biggest rivals, the Los Angeles Lakers. According to Dan Woik and Sam Amick of The Athletic, the Lakers have emerged as a serious option for Horford. Horford is an option for the Lakers alongside newly bought-out center and former number 1 overall pick DeAndre Ayton. Ayton, 26, is also a hot commodity on the free agent market, and the Celtics could make a move for him if they choose to. Although Horford is 39 years old, he is still highly sought after on the free agent market. He is coming off a solid year with the Celtics, who did their best to become the first back-to-back title winners since the 2018 Warriors. They came up short, losing in the second round of the New York Knicks. Despite being load-managed throughout the year, he was productive when available, averaging 9.0 points, 6.2 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and 0.9 blocks per game, while shooting 42.3% from the floor and 36.3% from deep across 60 appearances in 27.7 minutes per contest. Horford has spent 7 seasons in Boston, divided into 2 separate stints. In his time in Beantown, he has been terrific, averaging 11.2 points per game, 6.8 rebounds, 3.6 assists, and 1.1 blocks while shooting 48.4% from the field and 38.8% from three-point range, the best mark of his career from beyond the arc. The Lakers could use a big, and Horford could be at the top of their board. The Dominican Republic native may not fit the timeline for the team, but Horford has proved that he is a solid defender and can hit timely shots while also spreading the floor. Los Angeles is in desperate need of a big, and so are the Celtics, who have already lost Kornet and Porzingis this offseason. This summer is proving to be vital, and Boston could be on the verge of losing another one of their core pieces for the last handful of years.